appreciate y'all chilling and politicking and paying attention because it's real vital. You heard me? Trench Talk TV. So that's what it's gonna sound like. It ain't gonna sound like nothing sugarcoat. It ain't gonna sound like what you want to hear. It's gonna be Trench Talk.
Talking about these younger artists, how much? What you got? What's your opinion on the influence of music to the streets?
It's
You know,
it's a double-edged sword also.
yeah, it's a lot going on
Yeah,
around
it's a lot
the world.
going on now, but now they're making it where it's they're perverting our music, man. You know, it's like the government is like you know, it's like you're getting in our business. In other words, that's what it kind of feels like. It's like number one, when hip hop first started out, it was meant for a certain audience. It really was meant for black people. They're gonna keep it 100. It was meant for white people too, but white people that was into hip hop.
That was our thing.
Yeah,
man.
that was our thing. And then we accepted y'all because you understand what it is. You know what I mean? The Beastie Boys, and we had a lot of white groups back then that was we embraced them with it because they understood what the hip hop. But it's not now. First they come with the commercializing of it. Okay, we're gonna accept that a little bit because it's bringing money into hip hop and it's blowing hip hop up. So we're gonna accept a little commercialization of it, and we started bringing more R&B into it. You started bringing a little bit more pop music into it. You're producing, your beats started to get a little bit more hip hopish, even though they may have been from this genre. You know what I mean? So we're gonna accept that. But see, now it's like all the government getting into it. They're breaking down your lyrics now. They're going all deep into, they want to lock you up for it now. They want to, so it's just like y'all get, you just took it completely over almost. You know what I'm saying? And you can't say this now. All these little different groups. All these groups are complaining because you said this word or you said this, and it's getting more and more like, man, y'all done got in our business. It wasn't really meant from that. We was able to try to express ourselves like we wanted to. Y'all getting in our business. You know what I mean?
I totally agree. They go back to that double-edged sword you're talking about though. I totally agree with you, but at some point, the accountability come in, and where do we draw the line at as young black rappers on the way we incriminate ourselves on these records?
That's because it's not it's incriminating ourselves literally, but really what it is we're black people. We want to be seen, we want to be heard. That goes all the way back to the pimp that has the big fly hat with the biggest rims on his Cadillac. That goes to want to wear the most jewelry and show out. So when you put a platform like an Instagram, where this is a platform that I can show out on and show shit, you ain't looking at it really telling yourself. You looking at it as I'm shining. We as black people want to be seen, and that's kind of like a detriment to us, in a sense. You know what I mean? Because we ain't never really had nothing. So and we want to shit on other people in a sense. And it's really sad. I think in the future, I believe that they're going to get in our business so much until they're going to shut all the way. You talking about certain things, the killing and all that they're going to make it where you're not going to be able to talk about that. So they're going to get rid of all the rappers that's talking about that. You know what I mean? More of the violence and all that. You're going to just talk about having fun and rap about this, and you know what I mean? Keep it like that. They might let a little something slide, like little cold words, like this, say like how Drake be on. If you ever really listen to Drake be on a lot of slide, little kind of mob talk, but I think you'll get to a point where the real violence talk, they're gonna end up getting rid of that. Which, like I said, is a double-edged sword, because when you look at somebody like Pooh Shiesty, or you look at a person who in that position and making all this money, and then they go do something like that, or Honeycomb Brazier, these type of cats that's really into real beef and going to jail, and they songs is influenced.
The most current
situation, Fulio or
YSL.
them. Yeah, YSL, with Thug and them, or Fulio and all these Young and Ace and them, with the type of bodies that's been going on, King Von and these guys with the, OTF and what's going on with these guys. So it's like, when does it stop? You know what I mean? They ain't trying to hear nothing else about, all right shit. So, it's gonna have to either burn itself out, it's gonna have to come to these guys. But they want it to be that way. See, in one sense, they'll say, oh man, y'all guys, all these gangs, because they're gonna go right to Chicago. all these gangs in Chicago, all these people that got killed over the weekend, and let's just say that them GDs and the folks and all them and Vice Lord, just say that they come together and they say, you know what, government, you know what, everybody, y'all right. We ain't finna point the guns at each other anymore. Now we finna come together. So now you got all these gang members on one side with these guns.
I don't
think they want that threatened.
Right.
That's gonna be threatening. That's gonna be too threatening to have Crips and Bloods now together. You feel what I'm saying? They say that's what they want, but when they get that, they always gonna want to have one side against the other. America is two sides. It's gonna be Republican, Democrat. It's gonna be this and that. It's always called the competition of men. So that's what they're gonna create that.
We all preach unity, get together. If you can, I want you to be as realistic as possible. What's a resolution? Being realistic. You got your ceasefires going on. Shout out to Mad Marvin. You got your ceasefires going on. You have your stop the violence marches. We need to. Do you think there's a realistic resolution?
It's hard to say because there's going to be some type of resolution. You know, I think me personally, you know, I'm a science type guy. I think in a lot of times, you know, let me give you an example. Let's say all these people dying of fentanyl overdose and fentanyl like that. I believe that they're going to come with some type of pill or drug where you're going to be just like, you know, they already have opiate, you can be vaccine. They have an opiate vaccine.
Dope to get you off.
Yeah.
To get you off.
Just like a vaccine, when you give it, you ain't gonna never catch chickenpox no more. They're gonna have a vaccine where when they hit you with this needle and give you the vaccine, you're not gonna never be able to get high anymore. It's gonna block certain things inside of you that if you try to do some drug or whatever, or opiate type of a drug, you're not gonna be able to do it. So obviously that's gonna cut down on deaths. Medically wise, scientifically wise. You feel what I'm saying? Right. Another example. With these self-driving cars, with these cars, that's whatever. They're going to pretty soon have where each car is going to be able to communicate with each other. If this car got a chip and this car got a chip, everybody online is going to be able to avoid accident because both cars are going to know what they're doing at the precise moment of time. So they're going to pretty much cut down on a lot of accidents. It's going to cut down on drunk driving. It's going to cut down on this. It'll cut down on that. So how can they cut down on the violence? How can we cut down on gangs against gangs?
That's the $1 million question.
That's the $1 million question. That's going to take, number one, opportunity. It's going to take, for me to put down this here, I'm going to have to be able to, you're going to have to offer me something over here.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? You say, I like that verse when Lil Baby said, I keep a certified hitter, see I pay him not to rob. I got to pay this man not to rob. Ain't that crazy? But if I pay him, he ain't going to rob.
It makes sense to me.
You feel what I'm saying? So when it's somebody they ready to do this, if you give me opportunity over here, that means if the economy get better or they got more money coming in or I got more opportunity to start my own business and make money and somebody showing me and this is real legitimate, then I'll stop doing this over here. You feel what I'm saying? So those are the type of opportunity, but are they going to do that? It's the $1 million question. And if it gets to the point where it's going to be for the safety of them, then I think that, you know, who knows? It's hard to give a definite answer, but I think I'm a person that think, and you know, I'm an optimist. So I always going to think that things are going to get better than they are going to get worse. And I think man is going to be able to create more stuff, and it's going to be opportunity and technology is going to be shit that's, you know, we're going to shake our head to it and unbelievable in 10 years.
I'm going to ask you this. Would you have done something different?
Man, I ask myself that all the time. And to be honest with you, I think I would have. I think I would have did a lot of different things different. But when I think about, and we discussed this before I started this interview. When I think about going back in time, it's almost like a movie called A Butterfly Effect. It's like every time I go back and change just one thing, something else will happen. So I may have changed where I didn't go to jail, but who knows, 5 years down the line, I might have died on the tour bus accident or in a plane crash. Who knows? So I might have fixed something here, but it wouldn't affect, somebody that I know here that died. So when I think about having that money and all that back then at 19, if I would have made it and blown up, had millions of dollars, I don't think I would be here now, because I looked at my mindset back then. I was kind of ignorant, you know what I mean? I treated people bad. I had an ego. I was arrogant, and I treated women bad. And so with money, it just would have only amplified it, and I would have been, asshole in some sense. But I would have been a good person too to my homeboys and to people that I love, because money and that type of thing wasn't my motivation. It was my motivation to see my hood and stuff eat, and to see my family and stuff eat. My mind was strictly on community, and that's the way I grew up. That's how we started out, So, but I just think that my arrogance, I wasn't ready for it at the time. I was mad, but I probably wouldn't be here now.